Me, I will wear them if I'm working, but if I'm doing like any like texture or color correction, I'll just like look down real quick just to make sure that it's alright. But anything for like animation, yeah, I just said anything for animation.
Welcome, guys, to the Third Party Podcast. I gotta wait. Hold on. I gotta start that one again. Welcome back to the Third Party Podcast, where we are your third-party opinions for film and animation. I'm here, Josh, with the boy Alex, and he's a co-host, so I can't really say much about that. But welcome to the Third Party Podcast. It's just an episode
Yeah,
with us two right now, which is cool.
yeah,
We
yeah.
actually haven't just recorded solo in probably over like a month.
It's like a month, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been busy to be honest, but
Yeah.
like I've managed to get like free time.
But our
Uh,
last recording session we did with Zappa, which you guys probably already saw the last episode with Zappo
that was a
last
fun one.
Tuesday, because now we're uploading
Yeah.
every week for now, if we can keep that
At
up.
least trying, at least trying to. I mean, I
Yeah.
would like to do more. And then yeah, I mean,
I mean, we're recording two
yeah.
today. I think we're recording two on the weekend with another guest that I don't want to spoil yet.
No,
And
no.
yeah, we have that, and then are we recording again on Tuesday? So we'll have like 6 episodes.
Yeah,
And then that still
yeah, we
doesn't
are.
count the fact that I have a seventh episode with Zappo that I still have to edit for this coming
Yeah,
Tuesday.
yeah, 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 yeah. You have a lot of shit to do. I'm just here like, let's record more.
Let's
I
go.
mean, if I actually find like a time where I have like, cause there'll be times where I'm not getting any work at all. It's just like a normal thing, and I actually could edit myself if you just send me like recordings, cause like, I mean,
I'm
I really
down.
don't
I
mind.
gotta I gotta re up my I you know how we were using Mega? I only paid for it so I could send you the thing for that initial time for the third
Don't
party, and then I
don't
let it
use.
go.
Yeah, Mega is good, but if you order this just straight up transfer files, you should
Yeah.
use WeTrans. Have you heard of WeTransfer?
Yeah, is it
Yeah, you should use.
cheaper or just free?
It is free, but if you want to upload above like 2 GB, you have to pay for it.
Okay.
I guess.
Oh,
But I
well.
think it's
I
still
don't know how
cheap
that's
anyway.
gonna work because
It's
we have like hour-long podcasts sometimes too. So,
well, I mean, and the thing is with WeTransfer is like I use it with like my boss, and it's like super convenient compared to anything else. But it's like super fast, you know. Mega, it works if
I
you have the app, but you also need to have like like an account and blah blah blah.
yeah.
And I would say it's a bit pricey, but it's worth it. But I use it more for storage than it is to use for transferring files. So like
Okay. Well, then
WeTransfer is better,
I'll
kind
look
of.
into WeTransfer then because it's probably better than what I was using before. Do you want me to run through you how I do the podcast?
Yeah,
Like
sure. I mean,
how
you
I edit
can.
them? Might as well do it on the we can
Yeah,
do it on the pod. So literally I cut out everything that like we shouldn't be talking about, or if there's like someone
yeah.
just walks out of the room, whatever, basic stuff.
Like me, like all the time,
Yeah.
almost,
Yeah,
I
or if
guess.
like I had to go to the bathroom or something and we're taking like a break or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the podcast that I know I'm gonna be editing next. There's a lot of times where your camera cuts out. You usually just cut shit like that out. You also cut out or you bleep stuff out too if you want to keep the segment in, but you want to just hide the name of a person. I did a lot of that. And then I usually just pick a clip either in the podcast or something from the pre-recording part that I usually cut off because we didn't start yet. Like I think what was it? The last podcast Zappo mentioned the Joshua rigid body things. I was like, "Ooh, that's funny." Put here.
yeah.
Kind of cut up nicer so there's less gaps of noise, and then yeah, intro music.
Yeah, I mean, I always do these. I'll pretty much do like a similar thing, I guess.
Yeah, and then
Kinda.
there's no music over the whole thing. And what's nice with this right
Yeah,
now, we're actually recording with the background, so there's no extra rendering time.
yeah, yeah.
I was so annoyed about that I had to do that with Zappo, but now I have a pre-made background
Yeah, you
for
got it
people.
working. That's a lot more convenient. Yeah,
Yeah, it literally fits
pretty
over
good.
like a technically it fits over a Google Hangout screen, but I'm pretty sure I can have it work for Discord if we
It,
ever still use
it,
that.
I think Discord is similar anyway. Like the triangle, it might
Yeah,
be.
yeah, it's still a triangle, so I don't think it'll matter too much. Uh,
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like a similar, like the Streamlabs thing is basically like kind of what streamers do. Like they have like a whole overlay on top of stuff like that.
that's where I got the idea. I mean, it's easier because less rendering time, though I am noticing that the background is a little uh lower frame rate because I think it's playing constantly. I'm not worried
Mm,
about it as much, but it's, it's just a thing. It's still
mm.
easier than
It's fine.
I rather this happen than having to add it in every single time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a lot better because it's
Yeah,
like it's a hassle, especially we don't have all the time in the world.
true, true,
I
true,
mean,
true, true.
I know I don't. I'm not sure if about you.
No,
Yeah, like you're.
I don't. Especially the fact that some of the podcast renders take like 6 to 7 hours. So I'm like,
That's insane.
fuck. And that's on DaVinci. I don't know if it's better on any other program, but
I
DaVinci
know
is
it's
like
probably like faster on that than it would be on Premiere. Wait, what
probably
GPU do you have?
2070 Super, a
Maybe
GeForce
it might be.
RTX.
I guess it might be like because like DaVinci is uses like it's a GPU based editing program. It's not like Premiere, which is CPU based.
I do have to update my
But
drivers soon. I have noticed that. After Effects has been coming up.
I
Have you noticed? I don't know if you've gotten it because I don't know what you run, but After Effects, the new updates for it have been um, coming up with like a setting, like a little pop up right at the beginning that's saying like the like the drivers that I'm using or the GPU that I'm using is causing bugs in After Effects that is causing it to like crash and do like wonky stuff.
I don't have that, but like
It literally
I
has been
do get
popping up every single time. It's
I do
stupid.
get problems with like my like rendering and stuff like that. And I update my drivers every like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, just to make sure everything is running
You're
fine.
supposed to, yeah. I haven't. I see the update. I know there's an update for it, and I haven't clicked it. That's
Yeah.
on me. All right. Anyways, that was a little rant about podcasts and other stuff, but we do actually have a topic today. Do you want to kick it off, or should I kick it off?
I can kick it off. All right. So like basically we Josh and I have been using like a program that's you can think of it as like kind of like photo scanning but in a video game, and it's called ripping. And there are like many programs of this, and but the one we use in particular is called Ninja Ripper. And what it does is like you get a game. Doesn't work for all games, but it works for like a good number of games. So for
Usually,
instance, for
oh, sorry, I was gonna say
yeah,
usually anything that's not online based because it does come up as like a cheat.
yeah. So any like it does work for like a lot of single player games. So for example, Josh uses it for like Cyberpunk, and I use it for Elden Ring. And that's
Yeah.
actually how I managed to get like the assets and the models for the project that I did, like the title sequence that I did. So what it does basically is like you get your game, right? You install a program. You have to. It's like I think Ninja Ripper is like $5 on Patreon, right?
Yeah,
Patreon or
and
Gumroad?
it's Patreon, and if you keep paying for it, you get updates, but I don't know what you need in the
Yeah,
updates,
yeah.
to be fair.
The updates would just be like I guess like more feature, more like help, more support for other games.
Yeah,
But for
probably.
instance, I needed Elden Ring, so I use Elden the that. Uh, and what you do is, for example, I wanted to get like the capital, which is basically like a mid to end game area. So I had to go to that place, and depending on where my character or my screen's POV is, I basically click like the scan button, and you just like let your keyboard off up until you're done. Because the longer that you leave it on, like the longer you are away from your keyboard, the longer it's gonna scan, and the bigger the model is going to be. So you like just take your hand off for like a minute or two, and then click the scan button again,
Oh,
and then you
you click the button. All right, so my computer is weird. I'll click it, my whole computer will freeze, I hear
Yeah,
the
yeah, it will
game on the
freeze.
background, and then I don't
Yeah.
know that it'll keep going, and then I just let it go, and then it'll just crash. But I know it
No,
rendered.
no, no, no. You don't do that. You, if you,
I didn't know you could click the button again. I've just been letting it
so
crash.
yeah, basically, the longer you leave it on, the more detail you're gonna get, the more it's going to scan, but also the bigger the file size, the slower it's going to be. So you just click it, maybe wait like a minute or two. If it's like a small object or a small room, it's better to do it like a bit quicker. But
Yeah.
if you're gonna do like a whole city, like in my case, I'm trying to scan a whole as like city area, capital place kind of thing. I let it go for like a minute or two, sometimes a few seconds. If I need like a statue. You just let it go 30 seconds, click it back, because no matter on how long I click it, that that it'll give you like the true geometry, because like the developers, they had the normals and everything, so everything is like low poly, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so it doesn't just come with the models, but it also comes with the textures. So
That
if
was
you like, yeah,
uh,
if you like an asset and then you like, like the textures and you want, it gives you like all the data, like normals and everything like that. Uh,
they are
it's not
named
foolproof
weird
though.
though. They are
They're
named
named
weird.
weird. They are
So
named weird. The textures and the models did come from a game engine. They don't. They're not like made for the. They're not made for like DCCs like Blender or Cinema 4D.
yeah, that
So you have to have like add-ons to actually you know import it without it having any problems, and you
Wait,
you
have you
also
been
have
using add-ons for it? Because I haven't. I've just been either
no
accepting that
no
they come
no
with textures or I delete the textures and I make my
no
own.
the Ninja Ripper add-on. That add-on I'm talking about, because it doesn't give you
Oh,
like
yeah,
an
yeah, yeah. Because you have to import
yeah.
with their add-on because it's like a weird file
Yeah,
type, too.
yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you in an OBJ. It gives you in like this file, which basically it's like a bunch of like assets, I guess, and you import it in, and then you just like you get all your files, and it's very like frustrating to work with, but it's better than nothing, because like
It
I'm not
is.
gonna model a bunch of like I'm not gonna model whole like castles and like walls and cities. I'm
Yeah,
just and hey, I mean it worked out.
considering how detailed Elden Ring was, I know
Yeah.
that like some of the buildings that you sent me because I found it initially and then I think I showed Alex it and then he was going off for like a month setting me. He was like,
Yeah,
"Bro, you
yeah.
can do this. Look at the building." He was so happy about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. See, yeah, because basically I wanted to make a title sequence, and because of Elden Ring, I did want to make one specifically in that area, because that area that I did it on my first playthrough is the one that immersed me the most. And I'm like, because like they don't really execute the lore as well as other games, but the lore itself is pretty like rich. So it's like, what if this was like a TV show, but done good? Like you have the Witcher series, you got like the Last of Us, and some of them are good, some of them are bad. But like, I'm just like, what if Elden Ring had a TV show, but it was based on this area that I like, and I'm like thinking like, yeah, if I'm gonna do this, I have to model a bunch of assets, and it's not saying that I can't, anyone can model it, but it's just that they're so detailed. It can take maybe like weeks or months, or maybe years, I don't know, to
Especially
make those
for
things, and then
like an actual full-on recreation. Like if you really want it to be accurate, that's a whole
yeah,
different
yeah,
game. And you
yeah,
had a
yeah, and
creative way of going about it too, which I did like. I do want to go into
yeah,
like why we felt comfortable talking about on the podcast also after, but I know
yeah.
you did it in a creative way where you like the city was in ruins, but you pretty much did like the pre-time skip. Wait, how would you say that?
It's
Back
like
in
a
time kind of thing.
like a back in time kind of prequel kind of thing.
Ah,
So
yeah, yeah,
basically, my concept was, so when you play Elden Ring, this city is actually in ruins. It's like half destroyed kind of thing, and I wanted to make a title sequence based on like imagine if Elden Ring had a TV show on this city, but it's like during its prime, so it's not in ruins. So I did the opposite, and I wanted to, for some buildings and assets I had to model, because they were like broken, and I had to like do a bunch of kit bashing and replacing and all of that stuff, just to make sure that it like fits and stuff like
yeah.
that. And I did use like a couple Blender add-ons. I forgot just one add-on that I remember using. It basically like makes you like an arc wall kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I think
it's
I.
like a brick wall. Yeah, it's like a brick wall, kind of brickstone wall, and it gives you like an arc doorway. And I use add-ons like that and other stuff to repair those parts of the assets that I wanted as well. And yeah, that's what I did, and that's how I use like the ripping tool kind of thing.
Mm,
I didn't use the textures because I wanted to put my own textures because I know the textures are made for the games. So because I'm doing like a title sequence, normally when you watch title sequences, they have like super high resolution, detailed, kind of like
yeah.
cinematics and stuff and close-ups, and I wanted to use my own textures, so that's what I did. I
The
do
game
remember
textures are okay because of the fact that
they're
you're in a
okay.
if since you're in a rendering software, it's it obviously it's gonna look a lot better than the game, but
Yeah,
also at the same time it is usually better because you maybe something doesn't have as much reflectivity that you would have imagined, or something's not
yeah.
as stone
On
like, or the textures are like 1085 512 by 512. Like
yeah,
you're not getting great textures sometimes.
yeah. Unlike the game engines, when it comes to like DCCs, you have like uh, like so there is the different types of rendering. You have your like path tracing and ray tracing, which is basically like the physically accurate kind of realistic light bouncing kind of thing. And it looks the best, but it obviously takes time. But what games do is I forgot the name of it, but it's used in like basically any 3D game. And what it does is like cheat lighting. It has baked lighting, baked shadows, and all of that
Yeah, a
stuff.
lot of ambient type of light. Basically, it works like an
Ambient.
HDRI, but it doesn't. It is weird.
Yeah,
I know what you're
yeah,
talking about because Cyberpunk did the same thing for me. I would go
yeah,
into a
yeah,
room and I'm like, oh, it has an HDRI for this room that I'm in, and it like covers all the shadows. There's like weird lights just kind of there to brighten it up. I Some of them would even get
yeah.
scanned in the game. You would see like little like dust particles that like had to be textured. I was like, I'm getting rid of these.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of games will have this kind of thing just to make it look good, but again, it's also real time.
Mm.
Uh, you never know. Maybe in the future there'll be like real time path tracing or something like that. Which
Unreal Engine,
yeah, Unreal
Lumen.
Engine is a
The
pretty good example. I
closest.
mean, it's not.
It's the
They have
closest,
it's the closest. They have Lumen, but that's not ray tracing or path tracing.
but
So
it is
even
still
though
really good. To be
yeah,
fair.
it looks super good, but you can get photorealistic results out of it. But again, it's not like physically accurate. I mean, when it comes to like cycles or octane
Yeah.
or redshift and stuff like that. But yeah. But basically, the other so those like assets and textures are made for those kind of things, and also they have like low resolution just so it runs well. And the further away, I guess like the further away you are from the from like for example, there'll be like a building in front of you, and then there'll be like maybe like another building, like a church or a castle, far away. And if you scan that, sometimes it won't get the texture of that because it's super far away. Sometimes it doesn't even get the full asset, so you have to like scan in multiple areas and stuff like that.
Literally like
Um,
photo scanning.
yeah, it's like photo scanning, but it's like a video game, and
Yeah.
that's what like ripping tools do.
I
We
feel
were
like the idea of ripping softwares to me came from because I was texting you that I was like, what if I took pictures, like screenshots around an object of a game and used
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like a scanning software to scan it? I was like, shouldn't that? I figured that would work, but then I think I realized that there were ripping softwares right after and found it. I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. I
Oh, sorry. You can go.
Okay. Sorry. I actually thought like, if I wanted to get this asset without actually modeling, what if I just like straight up took pictures around in the game and then put it in a photo scanning software? And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's not. But then you told me about there's this program that does like rips assets like photo scanning, and you send me a video. I'm like, what? Wow.
I feel like I
It's
found
like
that out after I was like thinking about the idea and I realized that I had to model so much of the cyberpunk world. I was like, fuck, this is gonna take way longer than I want it to. So then,
Yeah.
yeah, I ended up finding it because I was like, how? I think I looked up how to get models from the game, and a lot of it was tutorials for 3D printing, which makes sense. But I was
Yeah, but
like, okay, so this is how you do it, and then yeah, that's how I got everything for it.
yeah. I think the other way that it's possible was because like you have like free asset packs for like the Valorant and Counter-Strike models, the weapon models, the characters, even their rigs.
Yeah,
And I wondered like, if they can get assets from there, because I know like a lot, they're a very huge chunk. Like, so when I was thinking of like how they make these like edits, right? Like these like
like T
CS:GO or
T3C
Valorant
type
or
stuff.
COD edits. Yeah, the T3C type of stuff. And they're not just like, composites or anything like that. They're like actually like working with like the 3D models inside and moving the camera about and adding their own textures. And
A lot.
you would think, yeah, you would like think like how did they get the ass and stuff like
Well,
that. Now some of
I
them will
do
like,
know how they get it is from Source Filmmaker, because Source Filmmaker does give you all of the Valve slash CS:GO Team Fortress 2 games. They'll
Yeah,
give
but
you
then
the
there's
assets
also
from it.
games. Yeah, but then there's also games like Valorant, and there's COD as well, which isn't Valve. And then so like like I'm wondering like, okay, if they can do that, I've seen edits even for like League of Legends and stuff like that, and they get like the full environment. So I'm like, what, like, how did you do it? And then um apparently they also use a tool where it's basically like ripping assets, and it'll give you the textures and whatever. You can
Mm,
actually go online. You don't even have to like scan, depending on what you're doing. Like if you want to make like a Valorant edit or something,
there's
there are
models.
like free assets, free models of like the Valorant characters, all the weapons, their tools, and all of that stuff. Some maps,
Yep.
textures, and everything, even optimized for like Blender or C4D or Maya, whatever it is you use. And it's like all ready, and it's like, that's pretty cool. And now that I know that you can like whip it, like, that opens up to a bunch of like ideas and stuff like that. One of them being the Elden Ring thing that I did,
Yeah.
which I'm super happy with, because that was like one of those like dream passion projects.
Yeah,
You
and you were
know?
like able to do it because it would have been one of those things that probably would have taken you a year on your off time,
Yeah,
but then
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, oh, okay, I can just scan the game. That takes me long, like way less. I know we got way more comfortable talking about it after we watched the Corridor Crew video with Fenner's Halo thing that just came out, because he directly
I
mentions that he got models from in game.
yeah, I haven't actually seen that one. I've seen the one where
I,
he
I s-
reacted.
I sent
I
it
saw
to
the
you.
reaction video. Yeah, yeah, no, I know you said, but I haven't seen it yet, because I was saying I was busy watching like Trash Taste, you know.
Probably.
But when I get back, I'm definitely gonna check that video,
No, you
because
should.
on Halo.
Yeah, because
Uh,
he talks about like straight up. He literally even says the word ripping. Like he used like ripping
yeah,
softwares to get models, and then he found like what you said with the Valorant stuff, that there are asset packs or like websites that literally give away like uh, game models that have been fully optimized for Blender and stuff. So
yeah,
it was one of those things that like I think once I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, we can like actually talk about it, because we basically got to go ahead from Corridor.
yeah. We can use it, but I guess
We had
the
a
like
problem with it
the
being muddy though. I remember, right?
yeah. But I think like you draw the line where you're just straight up taking assets to use it in like your own game, or calling it your own. Like you have to just keep in mind that this is like not your IP.
It's a
Depending on,
fan make.
yeah,
Yeah,
if it's like fan art, I guess that's fine, because there's like a lot of people who make like 3D and 2D kind of fan art on this kind of thing, and try make their own thing. But
I
if you're
think.
doing it like, let's say you get like a building, and you just put it in your game, and I guess that is like copyright, right?
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Because
But
I
I guess
know.
if you get like
Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
sorry, yeah. I mean, I guess if you get like a tree or something, like a simple tree that you just put it in your, I don't think anyone's gonna recognize it. It's not gonna be much of an issue. But if you like straight up just steal,
Well,
without at least giving credit, then that's gonna be like, it is a bit scummy, I guess.
yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I'm debating on adding an extra bit in the post-credit scene or in the credit scene for my Cyberpunk thing that most of the environments were made from CD Projekt Red because I don't know the exact people to shout out, which is one of the only problems I have with stealing models because you're like, who do I give credit to? But also, I know where the rules get muddy with model ripping is just in terms of you profiting from it outside of just you
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. If
like
you
taking like a warthog and then putting it in your game. Like it's like okay,
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
that's different.
if it's a case where, like, for example, so for instance, when it comes to like my projects, one thing that you would notice is that some of the songs that I use are that they're like some of them are copyrighted or something like that, but
Yeah.
they're just like fan made projects. But for any like commission or client work, I don't use like any copyright. I just because it is a client project. It's not just
Yeah.
going to affect me. It's also going to affect the client. So I always make sure that I always use like copyright free stuff. Because like to be honest, a lot of people just use like copyrighted stuff. But it's just fan made, just for fun. They're not really making any money or doing any harm.
Mm-hmm.
But the minute you do make money, then that's where it becomes an issue. So let's say for instance, I'm getting hired to make a I don't know, like a cinematic or something like that, and I want to use assets from a game. You're gonna have to ask permission or have to like make your own or buy some, because what if the people who originally made those assets find out, and then you end up with like a lawsuit and yada yada and
Yeah.
all
I
that
mean,
legal
that's
stuff. And
that is also why we never really caught or monetized any of the videos as well. I mean, I'm
I don't
still working.
monetize.
I'm still working. Well, yeah, I don't either. I can't yet, but I'm still working on my cyberpunk thing. And it's
Yeah.
like if I let's say I added like the Skillshare sponsor segue into the cut to the segue Skillshare sponsor. Thank you, me, for that segue. Today's episode and pretty much all episodes are sponsored by Skillshare. If you click at the link in the description, you get 30% off your first month. And if you sign up for a free trial, it also can help us out as well. So be sure to use the link in the description to get your Skillshare on. I don't really have to say much else for that, so peace. If I added like the Skillshare sponsor to like that video or like the W1, it's that becomes a problem because even though you're not monetizing it, you are still making money because you made this project.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot of grays. I remember even looking it up if it was like illegal. And you remember it literally just came up as muddy, like it just a big bold words on Google.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
muddy. It's muddy.
It also depends on what game you're taking it from, right?
I guess,
Like
but then that's like still weird to me because it's like
like
I don't know.
okay, imagine you take from Counter Strike,
No, I
right?
imagine if you took from oh yeah, like comparing like Counter Strike, which would probably be okay with it, to like Nintendo. Like
Yeah,
Nintendo,
yeah, yeah,
Nintendo's gonna be
exactly.
like, no,
So
fuck you, you ain't doing shit.
yeah, yeah, but like when you get from Counter Strike, they have like the gun models as well. Like who is gonna really like complain, oh, you have like this AK-47 model, this AK-47 3D model, you must have stolen it from like Counter Strike. Oh, but you've also maybe stolen it from this other game or whatever, if you know what I mean. But if you take something like let's say you have like Horizon Zero Dawn, and you just like take like the model of Aloy and then put her as like an NPC or as like a playable character, then that becomes like an issue because you didn't ask for permission, unless you ask for permission, and or it was like some kind of collaboration. I guess that's like,
Yeah,
I don't know how it is, but
but
like you just have to be aware that there are these things and stuff like that.
yeah,
You know.
I was just happy though that we can use it, and I'm okay like using my cyberpunk
Okay.
stuff because
Yeah.
I've spent so long on the cyberpunk video that I'm like I'm gonna kill myself if I can't if I can't use these models. I swear to God.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, it's fine. I mean, we're not making money off it. We're also like super small, like compared to like the very very big artists.
yeah,
It's
if
not
we were
we're not
like
really.
Corridor is way bigger than us, and the fact that they're using stuff like that is
If they did something, I mean, they have the connections to contact those
yeah,
people or anything like
they've
that.
literally had done like Halo. I think they've done a Halo commercial, maybe a
Yeah,
Battlefield one.
but then there's also stuff like Spider-Man and Star Wars, which is used in a bunch of like renders and animations for big and small. But they're
True.
also like representing that IP. Like this is a Spider-Man animation, kind of thing, or something like that. So there is that as well. But if you're putting something like
Though
I mean
I was gonna
like some
say
of them would be like no what
I was gonna
yeah
say, like, even with the Spider-Man stuff, a lot of the times it's like models made by other people, and it's not
yeah
directly made from the thing, which is like where the scanning problem comes in, because you are straight up taking like a model from the game in which it's from or the IP that it's from. Like if I like
yeah.
I've had the idea for like AMV editors that you could just load up Naruto Shippuden or Naruto Ninja Storm 4 or something and then rip an environment in the character models. Like it
People in the in the AMV community be ripping the actual clips and then editing it. Yeah, yeah.
all the
I
editing
mean,
stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a bit like because there are editors who have commissions and they basically edit the anime and stuff like that. And as far as they're making money, but they're not getting in trouble. So maybe it's not as regulated. I don't know.
It's just not yeah, no,
It's
it's just not
anime.
regulated to be fair.
In Japan it is like it's illegal to do AMVs in Japan. I think I don't remember like to like
I'm
make
pretty
them like
sure even doing like YouTube videos like fucking there was a dude who was reviewing One Piece in Japan and got his entire channel taken down by Toya or something like
was
that.
he reviewing it and showing the clips or was because if you're
I
or
think
was
he
he
had it in an edited way and he had like clip like he did it in like the Gigek way where he's
yeah
talking and
if
there's the
you
background.
yeah if you do that that makes a ton of sense. But if you're doing it just like talking about it, then you probably would be okay. But if
Yeah.
there's someone like Gigak, right,
Mm.
from Trash Taste, he gets to watch anime and even stream it because he's like sponsored by
Yeah,
Crunchyroll,
he has
sponsored
the
or like a lot.
well, he has
Which
partnerships with
is pretty nice.
Crunchyroll, the book company that his company or Trash Taste is under. I forget the name of it.
Yeah,
Bookwalker, I think. Um,
yeah,
but like because of that, like they're allowed to do it. But again, we're not at like not a lot of people are at the stage where they can just do stuff like that. And I doubt Fenner or any of them had like straight up permission, like, hey, you can use these things. But also, I think
uh,
under the fact that you have it under the guise of a fan made film is fine. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
okay, look at if they were Corridor Crew, right? Like way back then, they made was it them? I don't remember if it was them, but they did have like
Core
they
Digital,
no
which I
yeah
know, but
they
yeah.
had Corridor Digital. They had like videos involving like the energy
Yeah,
sword,
yeah,
Master Chief.
but they would mix all these characters in one place. Like it would be
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Energy
yeah,
Sword, Super Mario, like basically
yeah,
a
yeah.
Smash Brothers game in a video,
But
and
But even though if they're doing like a recreation or something, they still like give credit and acknowledge like this is the original. We're just having fun
yeah,
making the thing,
yeah, and they
and
were able
that's
to make
not
money
really.
off of it too, which is, I guess, another thing to think about. Even though they didn't have direct permission from
Yeah, but
like Nintendo specifically, is kind of the biggest
yeah,
one. I
I
feel like
guess.
every other company, especially like any that's not based in Japan, will probably be a little lenient on what videos you make about it.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I remember like when this is me like starting out on editing. There was like a story that someone Instagram story that I saw saying about like Japanese just how they like created this like law, something about like modifying something with like anime clips, and that also applies to like anime editors, and then all the Japanese editors were like gone, just
Yeah.
gone. The ones that just kind of like, damn, that's a bit crazy.
Mm.
And then there's like you don't I don't really hear about them. Like I hear about other ones in like other places. It's super popular in Indonesia. Like there's so many Indonesian editors. Australia, here. Have you ever met like an AV editor like in person, like someone that you know from the community or something like that, and be like, wow, like have you not?
Not in person. There's fuck. One of the dudes from Moon I know is up in Boston. But I never met him. And then there's Law Fost, who I know was in. He's up in New York. So like I could see him,
Um,
but it's one of those things that like we've just never had the time, nor do we I think talk enough to justify us
yeah,
meeting
yeah.
in
That's fair.
person. But
Yeah,
I am
I'm
planning to go to Hawaii this when
there's a there's
September.
a
I'm
fair
planning on
number of
going to Hawaii.
yeah, there's a fair number of editors in Hawaii, and they're like pretty good,
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm planning to go to
they
Hawaii in September to meet specifically Curtis, who was in my OG editing group.
that's pretty okay.
So
That's sick. I the one editor that I did the first one I met in person was actually like I'm not sure if you know who he is, but his name is like AMVE.
yeah,
He's
I
actually
know,
having
yeah.
his yeah, he's having his own podcast, and he actually came to the UAE for vacation all the way from Australia and stuff like that. And he told me he's coming to Dubai, and I'm like, yeah, why not I come say hello? And it's really like because he's in Dubai, and all the tourist spots are quite accessible through like metro. So I'm
Mm.
like, why not I say hello? And I met him. I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy, like this is like I'm his first AMV editor. He's my first, we're meeting. It's kind of cool, bond and everything like that.
Yeah, I think.
It's very
Oh,
sick,
there. I
and
do
it's
have one story, and I don't know if I've mentioned it on the podcast with someone that I
I
did
mean,
technically meet, but I dated.
I don't no, I don't think you mentioned it. I don't even know
So
if you maybe you mentioned this to me in like messages, I
I
guess. But I'm
definitely did.
not sure
I
if you
definitely have
messaged.
messaged you it, but there. I mean, it was a shit relationship. But I
Oh,
met her
oh yeah,
because
yeah,
she
yeah, yeah,
followed
yeah.
my AMV account and liked my AMVs and also kind of did AMVs. And then I found out that she was literally in like the school like down the street. And I was like, "What's up?" But
Damn. Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah, I remember.
that's a
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
relationship.
I remember you talked to me about this. But you knew, like, I mean, like, people from the like community, like, the ones that are
That you
somewhat
really know,
known.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 exactly. There's like two or three other editors that I know that are here, but we don't really, we don't really talk.
Yeah, you don't
Like,
talk or
I,
there's no reason
I
to see
will
each other.
no reason to talk. Some of them just I have beef with, so I'm like, no, I don't want to meet you. I could say hello, but I'm like, nah, I'm good. There's one and I'm like, I could say hi to, and I don't know if he's still in the UAE or sometimes they'll leave or whatever. But he seems to be quite busy.
Mm.
He's a great editor. Uh, yes, he just stopped editing, but he was one of the most like innovative kind of like creative editors out there. Um,
You know what we should do? But, like speaking of just like kind of meeting editors, like we should just have everyone like plan a trip to go to like the Blender conference or something. Just everyone goes to
yeah, yeah, yeah,
one of
something.
those the
I was thinking, like, what if there's like a convention where everyone went to, and it's just all like these AMV editors?
well, I mean
But
that's
I'll
just an anime convention like cuz they even do you
yeah.
remember the time when they used to have like AMV contests at conventions?
No, I didn't. I
Okay, so
didn't. Actually, I didn't know those exist.
they had them and I think they still have them, don't quote me, but I know that before back in the day, you know how like we used to be like really good with like After Effects and stuff and like could do all these edits. I would look at like the contestants for these AMV convention or the convention AMV panel thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, this is like YouTube cutting. Like it was just YouTube cuts, that
Uh,
YouTube style cutting. I was
Well,
like, if any of us joined one of those conventions, we would have smoked everybody.
yeah. The thing is that do they? How much time do they have though?
I think
To actually like make it.
they have like pretty much the whole year, as far as I know, like to make an AMV to. I again don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it's like they get like a whole year, at least a month to make an AMV
That's a
for
lot of
coming.
time too. That's a lot of time to make like a very refined, masterpiece, like 1 minute long.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
like
like
1 to 2 minute long type of thing.
all those edits you see on like T3C, like the T3C anime, you could do it like a month or like a couple months. It won't take long. And
Yeah.
all it takes is just like a bunch of practice to get to that kind of level, and then like the edits will just take, that kind of,
Yeah,
you know.
at a
They
certain point, it's
still,
just technical and like fucking actually doing it.
yeah, but those are like, the YouTube editors. They haven't really seen like the there some YouTube editors are really like really high tier, but a lot of them just do like the cutting,
Now,
and when you
no,
go to Instagram,
nowadays it's been better. It's been a lot better, in my opinion. But I
are
think it's
adding
because
like
people,
transitions and effects and stuff.
yeah,
Is it
like
because
I
of the
think,
influence?
yeah,
Like the
we
influence?
influence them. All right.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I
I
think
mean, I don't.
I don't want to
I don't know if
boast. Yeah, I don't know if we did it, but like just in general, I think like most of the YouTuber AMVs have gotten better
uh
because there's influences like from. I mean, it has to be through Instagram or like TikTok, where
or
editors
Twitter,
post their
Twitter.
stuff, Twitter too, where people post
Yeah.
their stuff.
I think I think it's just the community as a whole because first of all you had also the groups, and some editors wanted to join those groups, but they had to be like super good, right?
Yeah,
They also follow these other editors who do super good, so they get influenced by them, and then they like make these edits, and then as a whole it starts getting better and better, and then there's like community, and then you have like the ones who do tutorials on these certain effects. Like I did a couple on trap code,
mm,
and then they were like, and then I saw a bunch of edits with like the same exact effects that I've made before, and then there are people who are
yeah,
making tutorials on the tutorials that I made, whatever, with credit, which is nice. And then like,
yeah.
um,
I had
and
somebody.
then as a whole,
Sorry,
yeah,
I had somebody remake the the My Hero, not My Hero, the Mob Psycho thing that I made a while ago, where the percentage goes up and then like it explodes, and I do like a little snap thing.
I think I saw that. I think you said it on your story. I think on your story.
Did you see the one
I
where
think I remember
the
seeing.
one where the dude remade mine? He basically took he
I
straight
did
up.
see that one.
So it was funny because he straight up took the number part that I edited myself. He took that clip and used it for himself, but he edited like the other parts himself. And I was like, damn, that's funny.
But it's still cool to see. I do. I
It
remember
was
like
really cool. I was like, aw, people actually watch, because I had a tutorial on how to do that like whole video, and he apparently watched it. So I was like, oh, nice.
yeah. I remember because back then, like, oh my God, when I did AMVs, there'll be people who straight up like take like the audio from your edit. Like just search up the
I
song.
used to do that though, because sometimes people would
That's
edit the audio nicely and like add some things that I like to it, and I was like, I'll take it.
uh
But then I'll do like the ace, what was it, AC to audio credit to this guy. You would always do that.
yeah. I'll do that as well. For me, I put in the song, and if I found a song from someone else, I put like I got the song, like I got the audio IB inspiration of this guy, right?
Well, I don't
But
do
then like
IB. IB is more for like, all right, we're gonna get into A and V terms here. IB is definitely just if you've copied the video itself. The audio was a
well,
completely different
yeah.
thing.
No, IB is if you inspired parts of it or something. RM, which is remake, is if you remade or
Okay, I
copied the
usually
video straight
used
up.
IB if I knew I was like really inspired by somebody and I was doing like similar
I mean, yeah,
style
yeah,
to
you do
them.
IB, yeah, similar, yes, that's an IB. But basically, I remember like because I get like tagged way back then of like people like taking or copying, taking like inspiration of my edits, and I looked at this one edit, and it's like an edit that a lot of people used to like really like. And what was funny is that it didn't just have like it wasn't just the music edited, but there was an audio watermark of someone saying my name basically, and and then I open the edit, and the first thing that I hear is my name, and I'm like, bro, you could I mentioned the song in the caption, you could just straight up take the song, you
Yeah.
didn't have to like,
See, I didn't do
right?
that. A lot of times I would find an audio and I was like, okay, I can't find the audio, so I don't actually know the name of the song. And back in the day, people really hated if you asked for songs. I hated that. I hated
Yeah,
when
yeah,
people
yeah,
would be
yeah.
like, what app? What song? I hated that. So
I
I used to just audio credit to somebody else, so that way when someone asked me, I was like, I don't know, I just downloaded off of this dude's video. You're gonna have to find through that, and then it would like
yeah,
transfer it
yeah.
to somebody else all the time.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think I understand because like oh my god, there's this one song um that this one editor used, and because he's like such a popular editor, it got used like everywhere, and it became like the most overused song, and everyone is like, all the groups were like, if you use this song, decline. We app it's just gone. We don't want this anymore. And it just influenced like everyone. And some songs are still being like used hella today, but if you want to stand out, you use songs that people haven't really heard before. Doesn't matter if everyone likes it. Like if
Yeah.
it's a song
No,
that
well, it's
no one has
there's
heard,
two
and it's
difference.
like,
If you're trying to be unique about it, yeah, definitely. But if you're trying to get views, a lot of the times it's like
yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah,
gonna want to be like, I'm a survivor.
yeah.
Like you have to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
using like those really overused
It's
audios.
not just overused audios, overused clips. Like
Oh
you know
yeah,
how many edits? You know how many edits I saw that went like non-demo, 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 and there's like the freaking like I don't know who else is fine. I haven't watched the series, and it's like Naruto, and they're like yeah. And it's like I've seen there was this one editor, right? He was like super popular, but he was like he edited the same song and the same anime, the same clip, the same scene, same audio
don't
about like
you're
eight times.
calling me out. I've literally edited the same
No, I'm
scene to
not.
Tokyo Ghoul like about 100 times. Like 100 of my edits were Tokyo Ghoul.
No, but like it was like straight up like the same thing, and he just redid the edit. Just editing, he just put like slightly different CC, maybe like a slightly different shake, and he
Yeah,
just, and I'm like, bro, this is like not unique. And then man, it was just really
yeah.
irritating,
It's
and
fine, man.
everyone was like pointing it,
It's fine.
and then I
AMV
say,
editors, do your thing. I don't give a fuck. To be fair.
and then I was like, hey, like I'm not gonna lie, like you do you, but he was like he used to be a friend, used to, and I was like, you can edit other animes as well. It's like yeah, but I'm more comfortable with Naruto. So when he tried editing something else, he's like, nah, Naruto is easier. I'm like, "Really?" I mean, at least do more like more. He did more. He did eventually do more like Demon Slayer stuff. And for me at least, Demon Slayer stuff don't doesn't really get as boring unless it's the same exact scene all over again.
It's. I
I'm
mean,
seeing. I'm
it's.
sorry.
I don't know. I don't know. We're reminiscing, by the way. We're the boomers of the AMV community. I'm more of the boomer. He's kind of starting to. He's a millennial or
I
going into
started
the
in like
boomer stage.
I started in like late 2019, so August
Yeah, and I
2019.
started like 3 years before
Yeah,
that.
you're
So like
a you're a
I'm out here.
boomer.
It's not
You're
fair
out
though
here.
because I feel like you started in high school. I started in like middle school. Like I started when I was young.
I didn't
Because
I
we're the
didn't start.
same.
I
Wait,
started.
how old are you? You're 21.
I'm 20 right now, but I
You're
didn't start in high
20. So
school.
yeah, because I'm 22. So I'm not even that much older than you.
No, but I didn't start. I started in like university kind of. Yeah, like my first like year actually like in the university, and I was like
Yeah, but
I was
you
quite young
obviously you
back
you
then.
still. I mean, university. Well, actually, I don't know how old you are in university, but that's still
I don't know.
a
I
lot
don't know either.
later. That's a lot later than when I started. Like I all of my high school life from when I was like
Yeah.
16 and younger, I've been actually I think it was like 14 was when I really started. Because if I go to my YouTube
Yeah.
channel, I'll probably find my oldest AMV, and then I can yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyways,
Hold on. Give me.
oh, bro, do you know how
Oh,
funny?
hello.
You know what we should do? I gotta hire a friend to make us like a little intro track that I need a soundboard so I can just click it and then like a little like thing plays
Uh,
like a little like welcome to the party, the
I think
third
that's a bit cringe.
party.
I'm not gonna lie.
Now
That's
the way I
that's
did it
so
is
cheesy.
no mine's cringe, but like I'll have to make a good one.
No, if I think about, I don't know if like a slogan kind of audio or soundtrack is. I still think no matter who does it, I think it's just a bit.
It is
I don't
cringe.
know. I don't.
I don't think it's ever good
Just,
unless the song is like actually like decent, but replaying it all the time is so bad. We
no,
gotta
no. It'll
kind
be a
of
bit.
wrap up. It's been 55 minutes, but there's like two portions I know I need to cut out, so I think we can go for 10.
Okay, 10 what?
10 more minutes. So,
All right.
and then we'll try to wrap up.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, an aim. If you, do you ever like? I'm pretty sure. Maybe you do. You miss like the time where you did like AMVs, and you like miss like the nostalgia and
I miss
you know.
the idea that I could make something in a day and then have it do well. Because, well, not just do well. I think I missed the day where I could just make an edit. It was like very quick. It only really needed to be like 6 to 15 seconds. And you spent all day on it. It looked good, or it looks decent back in the day.
Yeah.
And, you could post it immediately, get feedback, and then also
Yeah.
also at the time, like my video wise, they did better than like the stuff I work on now, which takes longer. So that it kind of makes me feel less like I should, I miss that. I miss like being able to having that feeling of being able to continue because my videos are doing well.
Yeah. I felt this. I miss like the whole like community aspect of it. And that's just like discovering new things.
That
I'm
actually
still discovering new things, but I felt like I don't know. I felt like it was more alive back then.
it was. I
Because
was gonna actually ask you, do you think the AV community is bigger now or back then?
I think it's like okay, like I would say right now, like editors are like very good and the standard is a lot higher and the bar of the quality is great, but I think it's not at its biggest because back then people used to edit all the time. Right now they're taking their time, with their edits, and some of them just like stick around just to chill. But I would definitely say like the prime was like way back then.
Yeah. I think
Not
the
now.
prime was a little
But
probably about Vine time. Were you there around Vine when that was
no,
still a
no, no, no,
thing?
no,
Okay,
no, no,
because
no, no.
when Vine
But
was still a thing, we literally had like you know how everyone hated Vine, like actual Vine celebrities going into YouTube, and everyone hated the fact that they were all switching. We
to be
had the
honest, I really didn't think too deep. When I
back
saw them
back in
getting
the
into
day,
YouTube,
like Logan Paul switching to YouTube, people got mad about type of thing, or like
I
David
mean, I didn't.
Dobrik and stuff.
I honestly didn't like care. I'm like,
Okay,
oh,
well,
whatever. I mean,
I didn't care either, but I'm talking about like just general
yeah, yeah.
people's
Oh,
thoughts.
because like they were coming to Instagram basically.
Yeah, everyone, all the Vine editors were coming to Instagram. There was a lot of people in the community that were a little mad about it because Vine editors were really good and also kind of had like their audience that they were easily able to transfer over like instantly, and it
Damn,
felt
bro.
like we kind of it was
If
a
they,
thing that like a lot of people actually got annoyed about. I didn't give a fuck because I was talking to a lot more editors because of it.
I think that's pretty funny because that's like if you're upset and you're like worried, I think that's like a skill issue.
It's a
But
skill
if
issue.
that's
I wanted to say that so bad.
it is. I mean, it's true. If
It's
you're worried that they're good and they're coming to your community, I mean, for me, I think that's good. Just like for example, if I'm in a studio, right, and
yeah,
let's say three artists gets hired, three amazing artists, far better than me. I think that's a good thing
yeah, it is.
because think of it as like a way to like by them being there, you're getting better. Like because
Yeah,
you're getting inspiration. And you can also collaborate with them and
collab.
you can also learn something from them and also they could also learn something from you because you never know, maybe there's something that they don't know about you. Like there'll be like artists that I think like, wow, your stuff is really cool, and they're like, bro, I don't even know how to make like this thing, and then we share knowledge or whatever, and then
Yeah,
it
and
makes us
even
all
even if you're not necessarily asking them or like talking to
yeah,
them about stuff, like just them being in the room kind of pushes you into this direction where you feel like you want to be better or try
yeah, yeah,
harder.
yeah.
So then
It's a good
you do a
yeah.
bit more.
I'm saying like the AMV editor shifting into 3D and making some really cool stuff. I'm like, damn. It's really amazing stuff, but like it does make me motivated a bit to like work more and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Both like in like a positive and negative way. Like, man, I gotta get better, and like, yeah, I want to get,
it never. I don't
new
think
and
it ever
interesting
really
ideas and
affected me
stuff.
negatively, except when it's like midnight and I'm like on my bed and I'm looking at my phone and then I'm just like looking in my dark room and I'm like, damn. But it's only because I'm not on my computer. If I was on my computer
No, no,
and I
no.
like look at it, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
work, work.
I, I, I'm pretty sure everyone who Everyone is like that, like look at their phone. It's midnight. They look at this really cool edit, and they're like, "Fuck, man, I gotta work. I gotta get good or something like that." And then
Yeah.
you work, and I'm like, it's nice. And then you go back to your bed, and it's like, man, I gotta get good. But you're already working. You already you by just working, you're already like improving. But you're on your bed there because you have like I guess it's like a sort of like is it called imposter syndrome
A
ish or
little bit, yeah.
kind of like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
But
because
it's not like a term. It's better than looking at your phone and be like, I could do better than that, because you won't get better if you just say like I could do better than that, or he's nothing, or anyone could do that. Like the video, like, or you see like a cool video of like some person doing gymnastics or like parkour or whatever,
I mean, I
and
can
then you
do
have a
that
guy in the
technically.
comment.
That I can
Yeah, yeah,
technically
you
do
have,
that.
and then there'll be like a guy commenting amateur. You're like
Yeah.
Dorito, Dorito
I
does
actually, I when I was a kid,
here.
I made a YouTube video when I was like first starting out parkour with like my friends, and I think I like made a joke. There's like a little title in there that says best parkour team in my state, right? I said we were the best parkour team in our state, and we sucked, by the way. But it was so funny that like I got like 5 comments from just like 20-year-old dudes, or like way older than me, being like, "You guys are definitely not the best," and I was like, "Damn, okay." I was upset about it, but I was very young.
It's understandable, but it's
Yeah.
good. I mean, I think it's also good if you get like, be like people being real with you or being honest or being critic, not like mean, but like
Well,
seeing
they were
like,
just being
for
mean. They weren't even
example,
being critical.
no, I mean, let's say for example, someone goes to your vendor and says like, I don't like this,
Yeah, that's
and then
not that's not really great. I don't really. I
but
don't
if
know.
it's straight up, if it's like straight up hate, it's like nah, nah,
Well, just
that's not. I
telling me
don't.
you
I'm not.
don't like it with no reasoning is kind of
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. But if you say it's like, I'm not a big fan of it, or I don't like this, or I would prefer if you did this thing, But
yeah,
I guess
I
that's
prefer
fine. But if you go,
to be honest, I prefer that over DMs. Like if somebody was like had a strong opinion and they sent me my edit and they're like, "Hey, like, cool, but like you probably should do something like this. It would be better." I appreciate that more because that's what my friends do. Like you will do that. Uh,
that's fair.
Other people will do that. But if you're gonna like comment it to then start swaying like commenters' opinions, then it sort of is like a it can come off more rude than it is constructive
I
criticism.
guess.
Privately giving me criticism is better than trying to publicly criticize me because it doesn't really help
I don't
me
mind.
because then
I
people
do.
either dogpile on that criticism or they can't, yeah, again, they don't think for themselves because some of them don't edit the same way, so they'll see that and be like, yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
I don't. Yeah, I don't mind actually if someone does it. But if it's like some guy going like, bro, this is too shit. I can't see anything or something like that. I'm like, at first I'll say like, okay, what
I'll
criticism
joke.
do you have?
I'll
But
joke
but if
about
some
it
guy would.
and then they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I was kidding because they're afraid.
Oh yeah, no, no. If I say like, remember there's this guy. He's like, bro, this is like you using this thing, and I'm like, okay, so what's the problem? You just tell me. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean, and I'm like, well, you certainly sound aggressive. It's just,
Yeah. Somebody
I'm just
said
saying,
that
and
on
I.
like something kind of recently, not like too recent, but it was a while ago, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Or I think I just
Yeah.
went along with it because I always do. I'll just be like, if someone says it's shit, and I'm like, "True," and then I just leave it. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
as a joke, yeah. If someone says like, bro, you're like the worst artist ever, and I'm like, yeah,
true.
I guess so.
Yeah, I
Well,
always play into it because it's like, what do you want me to say? Do you want me to get mad about it? No, I'm just gonna joke about it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then you look kind of stupid.
But I remember when I posted in the Elden Ring title sequence into the Reddit, Elden Ring Reddit. Someone who put like as an ironic joke, saying, least talented,
You told me this one, but
least
yeah.
talented artist on the Elden Ring sub. I'm like, yeah, that's that's a
Yeah,
pretty,
that's true.
it's pretty good. Like, it's actually a compliment actually, because it's pretty funny
Yeah,
and stuff like that. But
I think I
yeah,
don't know. I feel like people, especially on like subreddits, when there's fan art involved, a lot of them are like fucking 2D purists, and they'll only appreciate someone that like hand drew something and not even like did 3D work.
I mean,
Also,
for maybe if it, everyone like liked the 3D stuff that I did. They were super impressed because they're like, wow, because everyone, you did in 3D and stuff. How are But like, I guess yeah, 2D is more involved. Think of 3D as like it's more digital and
Yeah,
it's
sometimes you
not as
can
the
download models like we did for
it's
the
not
Ninja
yeah,
Ripper
it's
thing.
not. I feel like 3D is not as involved within just general communities like in games or anime. It's mostly 2D, especially with like anime because anime is 2D, so it makes sense to have it 2D. But
Yeah,
3D is good, but like some people. I think I do remember like um
we
I
gotta wrap
remember
up after
seeing
you're done.
yeah, I remember seeing in like in an anime. It was a show about. It was an anime about making anime, right? And this artist was complaining, he's like, "Oh, why do we have to add CG explosions? I can make 2D explosions." And eventually, like, I'm like, it made me think, like, is there like there's probably like a portion of a community or something that doesn't like 3D artists just because they put like a object, they light it, and it looks cool and realistic. While oh, we have to draw the shadows and everything like that.
Yeah,
Um, kind of,
I
you know,
think that's like a main reason. But then I also say like they have it easier because they can just draw the thing that they want, and I actually have to do all the technical like fucking math that goes involved to make it
yeah, yeah, yeah,
explosion.
yeah.
Like
You
you could
have
just
to
draw that
modeler.
motherfucker.
We're doing it. Yeah, we could do it. We also it's a lot harder to exaggerate things in 3D.
Yeah,
Because in
yeah, it's a
2D
lot harder.
it's fine, and 2D has like it's easier to be a bit more stylistic. Like in 3D it's easier to be photorealistic, but if you're trying to come up with something that's super stylistic, like Arcane or whatever, that's
Yeah,
like a lot of stuff
which involves
involving. That's very technical.
2D to be
Yeah,
fair, but yeah, I mean a lot of
and
shows are like that.
yeah, and with animation, it is more like fundamental kind of thing where we have rigging in 3D, we have simulation. Some of them require math, some of them require coding. So it's like I think like I think both are just equally as hard, but also both are like equally as needed kind of thing. They both are required in different areas and stuff like that. Like 2D is very good for making like the anime or overlays and stuff like that. Like if I made like a 3D like stream overlay, I think that would look shit. I think it's better if it's like 2D or like a logo. Logos look better 2D than it is 3D. I mean, this overlay is 3D, but I'm talking about like a stream overlay. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think they look and it's more especially with in the motion design space 2D can have like a bit more of like a simplistic and attractive kind of look and stuff like that
Yeah, no,
kind of thing
that's understandable.
and
Anyways,
UI.
this was the third party podcast, guys.
Yeah,
We're gonna be recording another one today. Expect it next week on Tuesday, so that'll be
heck
fun.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, we'll be wearing the same clothes. Do you care about that? You did tell
yeah.
me you did not like that. We might change
I
clothes.
mean, it's not. No, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I was just thinking like, yeah, it's fine. Doesn't really matter. It's fine. We could just.
Okay.
I'm lazy anyway,
All
so I'm not
right,
gonna change it.
I think next week it's gonna be us, and then the week after that we do have a special guest coming on, which is gonna be fun. And
Heck
we're
yeah.
recording that on Saturday. So yes,
Fuck
go
yeah.
into the link in the description, where you can get Skillshare for 30% off. Use that code down there. Crazy that we have that. Also, Dubby for 10% off energy drinks. It's reversed on my screen. Don't worry about that, but go get it. Flavors are actually really good. Trust me. I've had all the
Unbiased.
energy. I've had all the energy drink like
I'm just,
companies, and this
yeah.
one's it's not like diff.
It may be
It's good.
sponsored, but it tastes good.
It may be
I can
sponsored, but
assure
it tastes good, and it's not that much different from all your other favorites. And I think it's cheaper. I'm pretty sure it's cheaper than most things. So,
very good.
all right, we'll end here. See you guys. Peace, 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 peace.
All right.